The mystery about the pyramids. Have you ever looked at the Great Pyramids of Giza and just wondered how these colossal structures have stood for over 4,500 years, silently guarding the secrets of an ancient civilization? Today, we're diving deep into the biggest questions that still surround these wonders of the world. How were they built? Who built them? And most importantly, why? Let's start with the how. The Great Pyramid of Giza is made of an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. To put that into perspective, that's like stacking millions of cars on top of each other, and they didn't just stack them. They cut them with incredible precision and fitted them so tightly that you can't even slide a piece of paper between them. How did they achieve this without modern machinery? The most accepted theory involves a combination of sheer manpower and ingenious engineering. Archaeologists believe the ancient Egyptians used massive ramps to haul the stones up. But what kind of ramp? A single, long, straight ramp would have been impractically massive, almost as big as the pyramid itself. So, other theories suggest a spiral ramp that corkscrewed around the outside of the pyramid as it grew taller. Another idea is an internal ramp system, a sort of hidden staircase within the pyramid's core, which some modern scanning techniques seem to hint at. Then there's the question of coring and moving the blocks. The limestone was quarried nearby, but the massive granite blocks used for the inner chambers were brought from Aswan, over 500 miles away. The prevailing theory is that they transported these behemoths down the Nile River on large wooden barges. To move them on land, they likely used wooden sleds. A famous tomb painting from that era depicts a large statue being moved by workers on a sled, with one person pouring water on the sand in front of it to reduce friction. It's a simple, yet brilliant solution. But some theories are a bit more out there. One popular fringe idea is that the Egyptians didn't carve and lift solid blocks, but instead cast them in place, like a form of ancient concrete. Proponents of this theory point to the chemical composition of some blocks and the lack of tool marks. While mainstream Egyptology largely dismisses this, it shows just how much we still have to learn. Of course, you can't talk about pyramid theories without mentioning aliens. The idea that extraterrestrial beings lent a hand is a staple of science fiction, but there's no actual evidence to support it. The real story of human ingenuity is far more impressive. So that brings us to our second big question. Who actually built them? For centuries, the popular image, thanks to Hollywood movies, was of thousands of slaves being brutally forced to work under the whip. But modern archaeology tells a very different story. Excavations of a workers' village near the pyramids have revealed a and surprisingly well-cared-for workforce. These were not slaves. They were skilled Egyptian laborers. They lived in a planned community with barracks, bakeries, and even a medical facility where they set broken bones. Their diet was rich in protein, with plenty of bread, fish, and beer, the staple drink of ancient Egypt. They were organized into rotating crews who worked on the pyramids for a few months at a time, likely as a form of national service or taxation. Mark Lehner, a leading archaeologist, has spent decades excavating this lost city. His team discovered that the workforce was likely made up of about 20,000 to 30,000 people. These workers were proud of their craft. We've even found graffiti left by different work gangs inside the pyramids, with names like the Drunkards of Menkaure or the Friends of Khufu gang. It gives us a personal, human connection to these ancient builders. They weren't just faceless laborers. They were people with identities and a sense of camaraderie. Building the pyramids was a massive national project that spanned generations. It required not just brute strength, but also incredible organization, logistics, and skilled craftsmanship. These workers were respected members of society, contributing to a project that was central to their culture and beliefs. The idea of slave labor has been largely debunked by the evidence found right there in the sand. And now, for the ultimate question. Why? Why go to all this trouble? Why dedicate decades of resources and labor to building these mountain-sized monuments? The simplest answer is that they were tombs. The pyramids were built as final resting places for the pharaohs, Egypt's divine rulers. But they were so much more than that. In ancient Egyptian belief, the pharaoh was a god on earth. When he died, it was crucial that his spirit, or kaku, could successfully journey to the afterlife and join the other gods. The pyramid was the launch pad for that journey. It was a stairway to heaven. The very shape of the pyramid is thought to represent the primordial mound from which the Egyptians believed life began, or the slanting rays of the sun god. The pyramid complex wasn't just the tomb itself. It included temples, chapels, and other structures. The mortuary temple was where priests would perform daily rituals and leave offerings for the deceased pharaoh's spirit for centuries after his death. It was a way to ensure the pharaoh's eternal life, which in turn guaranteed the stability and prosperity of the entire kingdom. The Great Pyramid was built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2550 BC. His son Khafra built the second pyramid, and the Sphinx and his grandson Menkaure built the third, smaller pyramid. Each one was a testament to the pharaoh's power and his connection to the divine. The location on the west bank of the Nile was also symbolic, as the west was associated with the land of the dead, where the sun set each day. But there are other ideas, too. Some researchers believe the pyramids had an astronomical function. The shafts inside the Great Pyramid, for example, point with incredible accuracy towards certain stars, like Orion and Sirius, which were significant in Egyptian mythology. Could the pyramids have been a giant astronomical observatory, a way to map the heavens and track the cycles of the stars? Robert Bauval's Orion correlation theory suggests that the layout of the three Giza pyramids was designed to mirror the three stars in Orion's belt. While this theory is controversial among Egyptologists, it highlights the deep connection the Egyptians had with the night sky. For them, the movements of the stars were directly linked to the gods and the afterlife. So, when we look at the pyramids, we're not just seeing a pile of stones, we're seeing a masterpiece of engineering, a testament to a highly organized society, and a physical manifestation of a profound spiritual belief system. They were built by skilled workers, not slaves, using brilliant techniques to move impossible weights. They were constructed not just as tombs, but as resurrection machines, designed to ensure the eternal life of the pharaoh and the cosmic order of the universe. The mysteries aren't fully solved. We still debate the exact methods used for construction, and new discoveries are being made all the time, with technologies like ground-penetrating radar and cosmic ray scanning. These new tools are revealing hidden corridors and chambers, promising that the pyramids have not yet given up all their secrets. What do you think is the most fascinating part of the pyramid mystery? The engineering, the workforce, or the spiritual purpose? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The story of the pyramids is the story of human ambition, creativity, and our timeless quest to understand our place in the universe. It's a story that continues to unfold, one discovery at a time. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more adventures into the past. See you next time.